Passionate Living with Kat Miller is brought to you by Healthy Communities 2030. For more information, go to creatinghealthycommunities.org.
I'm Kat Miller. Thanks for joining me. Are you ready to dive into this week's Passionate Living adventure? Well, today we have a really inspiring show for you. You'll meet Taki Gold. He grew up in Liberia during the Civil War. As a child, the women that raised him and protected him became the influence for his designer clothing line, Girl Gods. Taki's story of transforming the tragedy of war into hope for the future is one of courage and empowerment that you won't want to miss. Bob Barrett was a kind man who touched the hearts of his friends all over the world. His inventive spirit and engineering mind, paired up with his love of classic cars and bicycles, led him on a path of passion that lifted the hearts of all around him. This heartfelt tribute to Bob Barrett, who lived his dreams, will inspire you to live yours. But first, let's meet a Buffalo radio personality who spends every holiday season living in a semi-truck for an entire week while receiving food and cash donations for Feed More Western New York. Dave Jickster's passion for helping his hometown has helped feed countless needy families throughout the years. Dave, tell me how long you've been doing this.
15 years.
15 years, wow.
Yeah, it's come a long way, and every year it gets better. We got it down pretty pat now. I mean, Feed More, Western New York, they get all the volunteers, and obviously there's no shortage of volunteers. Right. They've been amazing.
That's great.
It's a little less work for me. This year's a little bit more work, but I don't mind it. Right. Really, no one's allowed in the truck. Very few people can come in the truck. Everybody's social distance. They all have masks on. So they drop the food off here, and I will put every single box and can that's on that truck now, I actually carried up the stairs.
Wow.
So gyms are closed now, but it doesn't matter to me because I've been on the Stairmaster for the last 5 days. So these are boxes, obviously.
Right.
So that'll go in one of these box bins. And this is pudding, so I have like a little squishy bin where I mix up the squishy things with the glass. So when transporting, cans go here.
God, I can't believe all the food you've taken in already. This is amazing.
You know, this year's a little different because a lot of visitors are not allowed on the truck. Usually a lot of people come up and visit me basically nonstop throughout the food drive. Obviously because of COVID, really no one's allowed up here. But this is a visual. Each ring signifies a turkey that is on the refrigerated truck that's on its way to the food bank. And we have over 1,000 turkeys.
Oh,
so we usually,
wonderful.
and we probably will hang these from the ceiling. Right. So when people come in and see the truck, they see all the non-perishable food, and then they'll see the rings signifying each turkey that was donated.
Yeah, that's
but
great.
we haven't hung those up yet. I'm sure we'll get to it sometime before Tuesday.
Tuesday. Is this where you sleep?
Someone donated this chair because I had a recliner that was just awful to sleep in. So I was complaining about it on 97 Rock, and then one of our listeners stepped up and brought this chair over. Now it's the ugliest chair I've ever seen in my life. However,
but it's
remote control.
Wow.
It has a heater, and it even has one of those 1970 bed vibrators in there that'll put you right to sleep.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I brought you some stuff. I brought a couple things up. One of them is gone. The turkey's gone. I had a turkey.
Oh, they probably took it.
Okay.
That's how good they are. They took your turkey and took it to that refrigerated truck right over there.
Now, Dave, I was worried about you on the truck when I heard you were going to be here for a whole week, that you might not have enough supplies for yourself.
Oh, I can't imagine what this is.
So I got you something.
Can I open it now?
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Uh-oh. A brush?
And then,
that'll come in handy.
And then a little hair pomade, because I know.
Oh, I could definitely use that.
I know your hair is very important to you.
Yeah, it does. How important does it look to me right now?
Well, wait a minute.
But thank you very much.
You know, it is looking a little rough.
I don't think I've used a brush in 15 years.
Really? Well, hold on.
But thank you very much.
We gotta just fix your hair up a little bit, can I?
Go right ahead.
But I know.
Go right ahead.
Gotta just, you like it going up a little bit there.
I think I like it. Oh, that's right. That's right.
I know, right? At the studio last week.
Yes, I needed
just a little hair pulse.
I asked if you had a little hairspray. That's right.
There we go. There we are. Now you can continue with your food drive.
And look good?
And look good.
Does it look that much better?
It looks so much better.
I bet you some people will argue with you.
So Dave, if people miss this event and they can't donate in person and meet your wonderful self, which is such a gift, where can they donate food to Feed More?
You can donate feedmorewny.org.
Okay.
They can call them.
Right.
And God forbid if someone needs to get food for themselves and the family, they can do the same thing. They go to feedmorewny.org or give them a call. And you can also volunteer at Feed More to sort out food and box food out for people that need it as well. They need all that help too, which goes on long after Rock Out Hunger is over.
Right. That's wonderful. What a beautiful, beautiful cause that you're part of.
Well, we're just trying to help out. It's not, I shouldn't even say it's the radio station. Like everybody that works at the radio station is behind this food drive 100%.
Well, it's one of the beautiful things right now, especially while the country is going through challenges. It's so beautiful to see people come out and help each other.
That's what we do in Buffalo. Yeah. Like this it amazes me, but it certainly doesn't surprise me. Thank you, honey.
Oh, it's so good to see you. My guest today is very near and dear to my heart, Taki Gold. He has a website, World of Taki Gold, and he is an amazing designer. He now has a line of cologne, and his story is so moving. You're going to be in tears today. So I'd like to introduce you to my dear friend, Taki. Welcome to Passionate Living, Taki.
Oh, thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Now, Taki, can you tell me a little bit about your passion for fashion?
Fashion actually started with a story, and all of my art is just a way to connect people to an energy that I experienced when I was 6 years old in Liberia. At 6 years old, I woke up one morning and I was introduced to a civil war. So I went through it with my sister, who was about 12 or 13, and I was just blessed because during the Civil War, I was in a group with about 8 to 11 women, and they started to explain war to me as art, because I was so young, and I was so protected because everything I saw was just love and magic, right? And then the next minute there's war. And so they always related the contrast of everything beautiful that I went through before war. And they always challenged me to find that same beauty because it was still there as war was happening. So
how old were you when you actually became a soldier in the war, right? In the revolution?
We all did. There's no way of not being one. I was 6 when the war started, and I went through the Civil War for about 3 years. So from 6 to 9. So it took us 3 years to flee the country. In time, we all felt like we were more powerful than war.
Wow,
and
that's beautiful.
Then that just shifted everything, because things stopped happening to us and we started to happen to things.
That's beautiful.
So, for example, for fashion, since I'm in a group with all women, we had to design our own clothes according to war. So there was a lot of rips, there was a lot of tears, just so they were able to move, freely. And then because of war, we ran every single day. So their bodies were amazing. So they just looked really, really sexy anyway. And there were times in the beginning of the war that a lot of women was afraid to show how beautiful they were, because it was a target as far as rape goes. But through like the end of the war, they wasn't afraid of that beauty, and I actually saw it become a shield for their protection, because there is a strength in being the full you. So for fashion, I started to learn how to design, because I used to help them with the rips and the tears. So all the stuff that I designed is by hand. As far as music, they taught me how to create a score of everything that was happening. So there's so much rhythm in war, from the AKs to the bombs to the grenade launchers to the screams to the cries. So I kind of composed all those sounds in my head, so I wasn't afraid of it anymore. Because at night, at first I couldn't sleep, and the women told me, you have to, because the next day I was so exhausted. So now I could sleep, because I can transform the sounds the way that I wanted to experience them.
Now, a lot of your clothing design is really paying homage to women. I love that about what you do. Tell us a little bit about, what is the name of your company?
So my fashion line is Girl God, and I chose the first line to be military uniforms from the US, and I actually buy these uniforms directly from veterans that have actually been in combat, because there is a mutual understanding that the mission is more important than the uniform. So it's like I would buy the uniform from them, and I would transform it into something beautiful.
So Taki, I want to thank you for all the amazing work that you do in the world, and all of the goodness that you bring, and that you're living your passion, making a difference in the community around you. And thank you for being on Passionate Living today. I wish you a world of success, and send you a big hug, non-contagious hug through the ethers all the way out to Santa Barbara.
I just got it.
Oh, good.
It just landed.
Good, good.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I had a blast. Congratulations on this show. It's needed right now. And everyone who's listening and watching, go check out World of Taki Gold and just have an experience. Connect with it. It's there for you, and very, very happy to be here.
Thanks.
Like this.
Thank you. I'm here with my friend Bob in Angola, New York, at his alleyway of garages. And you, Bob, have the most extraordinary collection of cars, posters. I mean, this is a gorgeous expression of a life's work, of someone's passion manifest. Could you give me a little bit of background about your life, Bob?
Well, I went to Rensselaer for 5 years, which would be a bachelor degree in architecture, and I loved it. And then for graduate school, I went to UC Berkeley.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe it? And there I became a human being.
Right.
And that also was a master's of architecture. But I never practiced in that. I got a job as an engineer, another job, another job, Fisher-Price. You know, Fisher-Price back then was probably one of the finest companies in the world. Their process of okaying a toy, as far as number one, if you drop it, does it break into little splinters? We can't have that.
Right.
Number two, is it safe? Number three, sharp edges. And that was incredible. But today you see things turned out by companies that are unusable. But I worked for one of the finest companies then.
Wow, that's beautiful. And what a background you have. Architecture, engineering, that's how you have this amazing mind that you can create a workshop like this, that you can create a legacy like this.
Thank you.
This is extraordinary. Tell me a little about your passion for cars.
I think it started when I was 16. There were two local collectors, Bob Green, Kellogg Clark, and I would go there every weekend and visit them.
Wow.
And they lived very close by. One had a Pierce Arrow collection, and one had a Rolls Royce. And of course, I have both similar cars today.
Wow.
Made quite an impression on me.
That's beautiful. And you just started collecting. This has like become a passion your whole life, right?
It has been. But I went through another era of bicycles. My father was a bike nut, and I looked at all his old catalogs from when he was 20 years old.
Right.
Then I saw this weird configuration of two bicycles side by side on two wheels.
Right.
And that was done in 1896. And I thought, boy, that could be improved upon. So I redesigned it, took out a patent, made about 100 of them,
Wow. That's
over 100, and then sold the patent,
right.
and now I'm into gasoline again.
What is this we're sitting in here?
We're sitting in a 1908 Buick, and it's a two-cylinder. We've driven this twice to Detroit and back,
Wow.
and that's 330 miles each way along the Canadian highways.
Wow, that would be a blast. What a
It
joy.
is. But I love this little thing here. Look at the mud on it. We drive it.
I mean, I think that's the beauty of having these cars is a lot of people just leave them sit in their garages, but you drive them.
When I buy a car,
Yeah.
I think to myself, if I don't drive this 10 or 20,000 miles, it was a waste.
Right.
Got to use it.
Now you have a vehicle over at Jim's place, right? Jim Sandoro's
At
museum.
194 South Bend.
Oh, okay.
Completely unrestored from 116 years ago.
Wow. That's amazing. And your family's been behind you the whole way, right? With this whole project that you've taken on here. The
They-
garages, the cars.
They have been, yes. Very nice of them.
Beautiful. So Jill is
Hi.
Bob's wife.
Yes.
And Jill, tell me a little bit about this. What has it been like for you all these years with this
Wonderful.
collection? That's
Wonderful.
amazing.
Absolutely wonderful.
That's extraordinary.
I have had ups and downs in the cars, always. Because if you have an antique car, it doesn't always work.
Right. I got that at the Rolls Royce
Yes.
event that we were at, and
Right.
the first time I met Bob, we were driving by him as he was sitting on the road broken down, yeah.
So I've spent many hours on the
Mm-hmm.
side of the road waiting for help. But other than that, riding in the cars is just, it's not even explainable. It's so much fun. And you're with nature, you're outside, you have sunshine most of the time, or
Right.
rain. And it's just a thrill. It's a thrill. And Bob loves it. It's his life. It's his passion. So I get to experience that, which not everybody does.
Right.
So
And how beautiful, because a lot of times in a partnership, the spouse doesn't always share the passion, and they're
Correct.
going, what are you doing? What do you don't get another car? But you've always supported and been a big,
mostly.
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 What about the Bugatti? You supported the Bugatti?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I figured you might like the
Absolutely.
Bugatti.
Yes, I like them all, but some I like more than others.
Yes,
Some
yes.
I like definitely more than others.
Now tell me a little bit about the cars in here today.
Well, these two are Packards, 1903. The green one, Bob went to buy one and ended up coming home with two because apparently
course he did.
it was quite a deal.
It was a 2-for-1.
And when we got them, Bob particularly liked the green one, so of course I liked the red one.
Right, that's perfect. Well, that's perfect.
His and hers.
His and hers Packards.
And the posters you have to notice, Bob has a
I was
passion.
going to ask about these posters. He was mentioning all the posters.
Bob has a passion for
Right.
turn of the century antique car bicycle posters,
Right.
but he has to love the photo. And
Okay.
that's how he chooses them, by what it's actually depicting. He loves women on bicycles or women driving cars. He makes all the frames and frames them and
He
hangs
makes
them.
all the
He made every one of
frames?
these frames for these posters.
Wow.
Yep. When Bob got very sick,
Right.
I told him, I don't care if you spend everything, I don't care what you do, I want you to live the rest of your life as happy as you can.
Right.
And it's the only time in our marriage he listened.
Wow.
And we bought a Bugatti.
That's beautiful. This is beautiful.
But it is,
Jill.
it's
What a
wonderful. I have ridden in it, it's loud, it's fast, it's the same thing.
Everything you would want in a Bugatti, right?
It's, right, it's tight, but
Right.
my son, my husband love it. I don't dislike it, but it's not a comfortable girl type, go out to lunch with the girl
Yeah.
type car, not something.
Exactly.
But it made Bob happy, and that's what makes me happy. It's something he never thought he'd own, and he does, and he's enjoyed it. And I hope we can continue to do that.
Jill, thank you so
No,
much
thank you for doing this.
showing me around.
Thank you for doing this, especially for Bob. I know
Oh,
it
it's
meant a
been
lot.
such a beautiful gift
Good.
to do
No,
this
thank
with
you.
you guys
Thank you.
today and the
Good.
outdoors. It's
I'm excited.
wonderful.
I'm
I am
excited.
too. That's beautiful. And your son, I see him here today too. He has a passion for the vehicles as well that you passed on to him.
Yes. And my daughter.
That's beautiful.
She's expecting a baby tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. How beautiful.
She has a 3-year-old and the baby coming. My wife will have the 3-year-old. We bought her one of these Model T miniature parade cars like Shriners would have.
Right.
She has not seen it yet.
I live in Germany. I'm a bicycle mechanic. I work in a bike shop. And I don't make much money, but I love it so much. I go to work every morning. I'm so excited. And that's part of my dad's passion rubbing off on me. The joy of repairing and fixing and problem solving, and definitely the total interest in bicycles and mechanics. And he's so passionate about so many things that it's couldn't help but rub off on me, and I am so passionate and enjoy so many of the things he enjoys and he enjoys. And there's so many people in this town that have bought antique cars because they met my father and they realized how much fun they are, and his passion rubbed off on them too.
Thank you so much for having me here today and inviting me in to share this amazing treasure with our viewers. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm sorry my speech is so broken, but thank you very much for coming.
Oh, you were perfect, and I thank you so much, and I appreciate this immensely. thank you for joining us on today's very special Passionate Living adventure. We hope these stories are an invitation for you to fall even more deeply in love with your life by providing you with the inspiration and courage to live your dreams. A special thanks to our sponsors for helping to make this show possible. We appreciate everyone who is a part of supporting Passionate Living. View Passionate Living Tuesday and Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. on WBBZ TV, your hometown station. You can also view former Passionate Living shows on YouTube channel at passionateliving.tv or on our website at passionateliving.com. Shows are posted online a week after their television premiere. Thanks so much for watching, and just remember, as you walk through your day, if you feel a moment of overwhelming stress or frustration, just stop, take a deep breath, hold it for 3 seconds, and then exhale. Do this until you feel calmer and more centered. No matter how important something seems in the moment, nothing is more important than your well-being and health. I look forward to seeing you on next week's adventure of Passionate Living.